What's your basketball dream, bro?
Just trying to play college basketball, get a free education, play pro basketball, and let basketball, just take me where I need to be when I grow up.
Just like underdog, like your story needs to be heard. Like this whole thing is about celebrating underdogs and just telling their story.
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, we the ones, yeah, we the ones, yeah, we the ones, we the ones, yeah.
All right, Evo, what's up, man? How you doing, dog?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, thanks for pulling up. I'm good. I'm good that you're here, man. Just coming back to Colorado, man. It's just really warmed my heart to see the players that I've worked with, how much they've grown. You've always been one of my favorites. Started training this guy when he was in the
Third
grade, 10 years old. He came to a camp, and like within 5 minutes, I was like, nah, he needs to work out with the older guys. At the end of the camp, it ended with him playing me one-on-one at like third grade, and so we've been rocking ever since, man. Obviously, this is underdog. So, what makes you an underdog?
I've always been an undersized guard.
Mm-hmm.
Always had to rely on other things besides height. I'm Taiwanese and Mexican. Don't really see those type of races playing high-level basketball.
Right.
Just trying to prove everybody wrong with that.
Yep. So, like, let's just jump right into it. Like, what's your basketball dream? I know you're committed to this hooper lifestyle, and you put in the work. I've put in the work with you, so I can definitely sign off on how hard you work. But what's your basketball dream, bro?
Just trying to play college basketball, get a free education, play pro basketball, and let basketball, just take me where I need to be when I grow up.
So, like, what is your lifestyle look like right now to prepare yourself, for such an ambitious climb?
Work out 2 to 3 times a day, just trying to push myself as much as I can to separate myself from other people, especially how I have to push myself even more because I'm undersized.
How tall you think you're gonna be?
Anywhere from 5'8" to like 5'10".
Yeah, so 5'8", 5'10". There's not a lot of hoopers playing at that level. You know what I'm saying? At a high level, 5'8", 5'10". There's not a lot of professional players that are 5'8", 5'10". So why not just quit?
Just because I love basketball. I always love a challenge. It's my love. And I don't like giving up on things. And when something really faces me, I just tell myself I have to keep pushing.
What do you think is the biggest obstacle that stands between you and let's just start with getting a college scholarship?
Save my height. There's people starting to play my position that are 6'6" to 6'10", and I have to show to like coaches, scouts that I have everything else that they don't besides height.
What do you do to combat that?
Just in game, try to be as aggressive as I can, show them that I'm a leader, give it my all every single time I step on the court.
Yeah. Now you've developed into one of the kind of best players in the city, in the state of Colorado, probably the region. Your age, like what's been your secret sauce, so to speak, to get you to that level?
Just always, start with the fundamentals, because if you don't have that, you can't really develop the higher difficulty things. You always have to start with something.
Are you the toughest guy on the court?
I like to say so. I like to say so.
Scale of 1 to 10, rate your toughness.
I'd say 9. I'm not, personally, I'm not a really, tough person.
What do you mean by that?
I've always been, since I was born, super shy, don't like contact, but I've just came to realize that if I want to be what I've been trying to do, I have to be the most tough guy on the court.
Okay, so you saying you didn't start off being tough, that's just something you gathered along the journey. I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of people think either you're tough or you're not, you're born with it or you're not. And you're saying, no, I wasn't born with it, I just had to figure it out. It's almost as like you love basketball so much and you're so committed to making sure that you give yourself the best chance to reach your dream that you correctly figured out, man, I better develop my toughness. Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
So, how did you do that? How did that come about?
It kind of was just like a, like a flick,
Uh-huh.
like turning on the light. Just one time, it was in California for an All-American camp.
Oh, All-American camp.
Yeah.
I see the flex.
I was playing decent, but like all these other kids were super tough,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like crying, and then like I just went.
How
out
old were
one
you
game,
at this time?
Say 4th going into 5th grade.
Okay.
I was crying, and then just like the first game, I didn't shoot. I couldn't score at all, but I had like 15 rebounds. It was just pushing everybody out the way.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, it's been a little bit rocky, but just trying to make sure, getting strong, have to get busy on the court.
Like where did your passion come from? I appreciate that, but where like you are like a passionate, committed competitor. Where did that come from?
I don't know. It's just
You've always been like
basketball
that.
so
You just
much.
always. Where did your love of basketball come from?
Just one day, I think I was 6. I just told my dad, I want to play basketball. When I was about 3, I played basketball and a ball hit my head, and I didn't want to play ever again.
Yeah.
But then just one day, I guess I just told my dad I wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so ever since then, just going to the gym every day.
Yeah, but like you're different, like than the average kid in terms of your work ethic, and going to the gym. That can mean a million different things to like a million different people. But like you get to it, like when you're in the gym, like you're working. You're not the person that like your dad has to drag you into the gym. You're texting me at, hey coach, can we get in at 6:30 in the morning? I'm like, dang, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where did that come from? That work ethic, that grind.
Just making sure, like, I'm an underdog. I have to do what other people don't want to do. Like, if I have to wake up at 6:30, like, if I want to sleep in, I just tell myself I have to separate myself from other people.
That's really good, and the fact that at such a young age you've figured that out, because, bro, like life ain't fair. You know what I mean? Like to me, like like I want to know, like how they say, what is it saying? You just got dealt a bad hand. I want to know exactly what that bad hand is. So I can figure out how to play it. Because the competitor in me, like if you deal me a bad hand, I might not like it, but I'm not gonna quit the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out how to play it, and it seems like you have kind of had that mentality as it relates, to your grind. Like I'm not gonna quit. It is what it is. But you would be surprised, bro. Like a lot of people, even twice your age, haven't figured that out yet. That like my dream isn't fair. This is what it is. This is what I have to do. You know what I mean? What's your dream school?
UCLA.
UCLA. Why UCLA?
It's in California. I love California.
Mhm.
The food there is just awesome. Guess just ever since I was like 8, I'd say,
Mm-hmm.
I saw their logo and said I want to go there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. I played at Washington State. That was my favorite trip because like where I went to Washington State, bro, like in the winter, it's like a blizzard. So then you hop on a plane in January and you're in LA, walking around in shorts. So that was always my favorite trip. Plus you were playing against the best of the best. Now, like let's just say you were blessed with the talent to go to UCLA. Like are you mentally, emotionally preparing yourself to play?
Oh, yeah.
Like Mick Cronin, I don't know how much you know about him, man. He's a tough dude, man. You can't be soft.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to prepare yourself to play in such an environment, like mentally,
I'm trying
emotionally?
to put myself in like the best positions I can, whether it's out of state tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
getting to play against kids that will be, if I go to UCLA, will be my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to make sure that I get as much exposure as I can to prepare myself for that.
Much exposure?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Putting myself in uncomfortable positions, playing against the best of the best.
Yeah.
Even if I don't play good, I'm just go back until I do play good.
Are you afraid of failure?
One part of me says yes,
Mhm.
I am, because that's what drives me. Like, I don't want to fail, and then when I think about that, that's when I actually start pushing myself, because I don't want to fail.
Why not?
Just because I never like failing on a test, or
Mhm.
just that competitive side of me. I just don't want to fail on what I've been doing my whole life.
Let me ask you this. I get that. Let me ask you this. Do you think like this dedication or commitment to not failing, do you think that it prevents you from sometimes being as aggressive as you can be?
I definitely get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
It's been getting better though. I've always been, shy, nervous. It's just that pushing myself to, whether it's I'm too nervous to shoot a ball in a game.
What makes you too nervous to shoot?
Like if, I don't know, I miss a couple shots, one part of my brain, like the nervous part says, you just got to kick the ball, like you're not confident in yourself right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other side of me is like, well, this is a perfect time to show myself that I can.
Okay. Now tell me more about that nervous, and I appreciate you being tough enough to open up. Tell me more about that nervous. When you said, what does nervous mean to you? You're talking about as it relates to competing in athletics.
It's like almost being scared to mess up or, fail, as you said.
Yeah. And you're scared, why?
Just because I don't want to, not do what I've been trying to do, like succeed.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of that side of my brain just telling me, what are you going to do if you fail?
Yeah.
Because this is what I've been doing my whole life.
Mm-hmm. And the reason I ask that, because I can relate. I think that especially when you're young, when you're so committed and have so much passion and so dedicated to your dream, that can in turn put this pressure on you that convinces you that failure is the end of the world, when it's really not. And so my challenge for you is and we've talked about this, is what you need right now. You're developing, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be your most aggressive self. Would you agree with that?
Definitely.
Your most aggressive self and the near perfect self, they don't mix. You got to be one or the other. So the more you tell yourself, I can't fail, the more you're going to play in a way where you're going to you protect yourself from failure. But you need to make those mistakes. Would you rather make that mistake at Gold Crown in front of 300 people, or would you rather make that mistake at Poly Pavilion on ESPN in front of 14,332 people?
Gold Crown.
You feel me? Ain't nobody gonna drag you on Twitter. So make those mistakes now. So I challenge you for the sake of your dream to change how you feel about failure. Failure is a part of the process. You can't avoid it. So you might as well embrace it. Now there's a certain way you fail, right? If you fail because you weren't prepared, I'm gonna have a hard time looking myself in the mirror. If you failed because you were soft and you didn't want to compete, But if I fail because I'm aggressive, I can live with that. Now, I might not like it, but I can live with it because I'm actually getting better. I'm actually getting closer. The failure is actually pushing you closer, to your goal. It's not further away. And so it's failure or feelings. It's not going to feel good, but that's just a part of the process. So I encourage you, like I told you off air, I tell you because I know there's another passionate kid that's in the same spot, right? Don't worry about how many points you have. Don't worry about how many assists you have, right? At this point, not even turnovers. Were you the most aggressive version of yourself? Were you the most aggressive person on the floor, right? Were you the most competitive? And did you care the most? If you do those things at your age with your talent and your work ethic, your rate of improvement, right? Because, as you get older, right, when you get a job, you could have all the talent in the world, but you know what you have to get that job you want? Experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing in hoops. The experience. And most experience when you start off isn't good. Right? But when they hire you, they know this person's experienced. They know what it's like to miss a deadline, and they know what it's like to do this and do that. Same thing. Mick Cronin wants to recruit you. Man, this dude knows what it's like to take the game-winning shot and have his coach mad at him and stuff like that. So that would be my advice for you, just to continue to attack that. What do you think about that?
I definitely agree. It's better to learn early than learn in front of 5 million people watching you.
Yeah. And, we talk all the time, little bro, right? That this journey is 80% mental, right? So you got to develop what I call, hear people talk about mental toughness.
Yeah.
You got to develop mental toughness, but also emotional toughness. What do you think that means, emotional toughness?
Just being able to get back up after, you've messed up or you tried something and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Just not being too down on yourself to the point where you're unconfident.
Yeah, and but the emotion part of it, like, there's an emotion. You know, none of us, like, you take the game-winning shot and you look over there and your coach is mad at you and he throws a clipboard. Like, you got to be emotionally tough to go take the game-winning shot the next time, or to step up, like you said. And, you know, you get it on the swing, you wide open, but you missed the 8 shots in a row, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to be emotionally tough to take. What would Steph Curry do?
Shoot it.
Because he's emotionally tough. Or somebody crosses you over and you fall. You get up, all right, bet. You're going to have to cross me over again. Like, I'm still here. I still want to smoke. That's why that Ja Morant mentality, right? I run up chimney looking for smokes. That's basically what he's saying. I am going to be aggressive. I want to be challenged. You might beat me, but I want the challenge. And I believe that's, you know, like why Ja Morant is where he is. So we got to take that. So, yeah, just make sure, you know, that you keep developing that. You know, and I think that'll serve you well. Don't even worry about making it. Just shoot it up to God. You got to shoot us back in it. I need 3 out of 4 right here. I need 3 out of 4. Realize that's what we want to do. And we want to be an NBA player. You know, like, you're supposed to give thought to, like, what that, you know, what is it that you need to do? Like, what is the lifestyle for the next year need to look like for you to reach your goals? Have you thought about that? And if so, what is that?
Yeah, I think, you know, we workout standards fit a lot, so every time I'm in there, I see Derrick Henry in there. Mm-hmm. It's Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. He's the #1 leading rusher for the past 2 years. He's in there every single day, working harder than anybody in there. So, yeah, why shouldn't I be like that? Right. I'm not where he is. Why I should be working harder than him.
Right. So. He's not in there to get.
He's not
flicks.
playing around. He doesn't talk to anybody.
Right. He's
he
almost
just
angry.
Work. Yeah. So I think his mindset, and obviously like Kobe Bryant, why would I let someone outwork me? I know someone else is in the gym doing something, so I need to be in there longer than them, going harder than them, and just try to get better as much as I can. So that's definitely something I've been thinking about.
Is it one hot weekend, or is this who you are? Get in closer. Ready, go, quick. If you miss people gonna talk about you on Twitter, talk about you ain't that, you wash, you this, you that. Can you handle that? You gotta want that. Let's go. You done?
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, underrated.
Hey, Underdog fam, thank you so much for tapping in. Now, do me a favor, man. Subscribe, like, comment, share, do all the things. And until next time, keep fighting.